Hello folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to the man cave. Well, I reckon it's been about, what do you reckon, Milo? I reckon it's been about 5 months since I last did one of my handy hints and tips videos for the mighty BMW R1250GS. So here it is then, handy hints and tips number 8. And today I'm going to be showing you how to find and then how to tap into a switched live wire on your BMW R1250GS if you've got something electrical and you need to tap into a switched live wire. So without further ado, let's roll the intro. Welcome back. So the first thing I have to say is that I am no qualified technician. No. And indeed Milo will confirm it. So you do this at your own peril. Now, I believe I ordered and spec'd my bike up around April 2021. It's a T model, and then I rode it away from the showroom on the 1st of June. Well, that's the bike then. Let's go and find the switch live. Firstly, remove the rider seat, and if it's heated, unplug it. Now, with the seat removed, let's have a quick look at what's going on under here. So a couple of things to point out. This is from IDOIT. It's a control unit for the blind spot detection unit, and this is from HealTech, and it is the Thunderbox power distribution module, and one of those wires is tapped into the switched live wire, which I will show you very shortly. Now, as the BMW operates a CAN bus system, there are very few fuses on the bike, but some of those fuses are under here. Boy, try saying that when you've had a few beers. So some of the fuses are under here. The big daddy of all the fuses is the alternator fuse, which sits under this cover here. It's a 50 amp fuse, and I guess that's the reason why we've got a couple of big fat juicy cables here. And I believe to change that fuse, that is a return it to your dealer to get that fuse changed, but don't quote me on that. And then in this connector plug here, we've got two fuses. One is a 10 amp fuse and the other is a 7.5 amp fuse, and it's the cables going into that 7.5 amp part of the connector plug that we're interested, because that's what we're going to tap into for a switch live. And that 7.5 amp side of that connector plug provides power to the heated seat, the tire pressure system, and the multi-function switch. So once we find the switched live wire, how are we going to tap into it? Very simply, folks, we're going to use some of these. These are what they call posi-taps, come in various sizes. You can get them from Amazon, and if they're good enough for lighting company Denali to use, then they are good enough for us to use. So that's how we're going to tap into the switched live wire, using posi-taps. Here we go then. So which wire are we going to use as our switched live wire? Well, it's this one here. It is the blue and the red wire, and what you're going to have to do is just trim back some of this black electrical tape. Use a sharp knife, be careful not to cut through some of the other cables. And that red and blue wire goes to the 7.5 amp fuse side of that connector plug. To make things easier for yourself, you can cut the zip tie, pull the plug off, and that just gives you better access to trim the black electrical tape back, and then give you better access to that red and that blue wire as well. So that's the wire we're talking about, is the red and the blue wire as a switched live wire. I'll just show you if you want to remove that connector plug to make things a little bit easier. I've just cut that zip tie, and then all you need to do is press in here, and I think there's one on the other side, yeah, on the other side as well. Press in, and then just slide the connector plug back, and you've got to slide it back far enough so that the fuses clear the other part of the plug. So pull it back, it's a bit tight, pull it back, and there we go. So that's what we're talking about. So in here you've got two fuses, a 7.5 amp fuse and a 10 amp fuse. So you can disconnect it if it just makes it a little bit easier to trim back the black tape and to attach the posi-tap as well. And once you finish, just pop the connector plug back in until it clicks. There we go, that's clicked, and then just put another zip tie around there. Handy tip, just bend your zip tie upwards, and then when you feed it in, it should come back up. There we go. And then just pull it tight and cut the zip tie. In my case then, I needed a switched live feed back into my Thunderbox to activate the Thunderbox only when the ignition was switched on, and that switched live wire was the white wire, and we can follow that all the way back round into the posi-tap and then that's been screwed into the red and the blue wire. Now if you wanted to remove the posi-tap and you didn't need it anymore, then it just needs a very small hole in the red and the blue wire, and you can either put a bit of tape around it or just a little bit of super glue, and that way it will be fine. But it is a very small hole that it will leave in the wire. In case you're wondering, well, why has he got two posi-taps on there on the white wire? I get to test a lot of electrical products, and some of them do need a switch live, so rather than keep tapping into the red and the blue wire, I've just simply tapped into the white wire, so that's there all the time in case I need it. Just in case you're wondering, well, why has he got a second posi-tap? Very quickly then, how do we use the posi-taps? Well, they do come in a variety of sizes, so you choose the posi-tap which will fit your wire. In this case, on the BMW, I've used the red and the black one, so that's on the bike already, so I don't have any spare ones in here, so I'm just going to choose the blue one, and we're just going to assume that this is the red and the blue wire that we want to tap into, and then that is the white wire we want to connect to the red and the blue wire as the switch live. So there we go. So what we have to do is just unscrew this, and we'll see the pointy bit which will pierce the red and the blue wire in our case. So what we do is this bit goes on here. It's very easy to do, and then there we go, we just screw that down. And as we screw it down, that will pierce the wire. There we go, that's pierced the wire. That will make the connection. And then the other wire, which is our switch live, just maybe give that a few twists and make sure this isn't cut back too long. You don't want any exposed bare metal sticking out from the connection. And then we just merely unscrew the end cap. If I can focus it, that's what the end cap part looks like in the end of it. Pop that through there. Again, just make sure you've got the right amount of wires showing, not too long so they don't stick out the top, and then we just push that in there and then just screw it in, and that pretty much is basically it. So there we go, that's screwed all the way in. There's no copper wires or no wire sticking out the top there, so it's nice and secure. Give it a good old tug. Yeah, that's all good. So that is how we do the posi-tap. Very easy to use, and then we'll just show you what the hole is like. So let's just unscrew that. And there we go, that is the size of the hole in the wire that is made with the posi-tap. It's very small, so if you want to take the posi-tap off, you can leave it as it is, I guess, or you can put a little bit of super glue on there to seal up the hole, but it's really small, or just wrap it in a little bit of electrical tape. Well, that's it. Handy hints and tips number 8, connecting into a switch live using the good old posi-taps connectors. I hope it's been of some interest to yourself. If you've got any comments, please make them in the comment section down below, and we'll see you again soon in the next video. Take care and ride safe. Cheerio for now. Come on, mate. Let's go. Milo. Come. Good lad. Yay.